Good news coming out of the Supreme Court today. After a many-year stint of kicking this can down the road, the Supreme Court has finally agreed to hear a Second Amendment-related case. Those of you who've been paying attention will know that they have indeed been kicking this can down the road. Even last week, refusing to hear a case that would have challenged the lifetime prohibition on nonviolent felons owning firearms. Well, today they decided to hear the case of NYSRPA, the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association, versus Corlett, which is a right-to-carry case out of New York. So let's go ahead and take a look at the article about this case by the AP. This is by Mark Sherman. The Supreme Court agreed on Monday to hear an appeal to expand gun rights in the United States in a New York case over the right to carry a firearm in public for self-defense. The case marks the court's first foray into gun rights since Justice Amy Coney Barrett came on board in October, making a 6-3 conservative majority. The justices said Monday that they will review a lower court ruling that upheld New York's restrictive gun permit law. The court's action follows mass shootings in recent weeks in Indiana, Georgia, Colorado, and California. The case probably will be argued in the fall. The court turned down review of the issue in June before Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's death. New York is among 8 states that limit who has the right to carry a weapon in public. The others are California, Delaware, Hawaii, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Rhode Island. Paul Clement, representing challengers to New York's permit law, said the court should use the case to settle the issue once and for all. Thus, the nation is split, with the Second Amendment alive and well in the vast middle of the nation, and those same rights disregarded near the coasts. Clement wrote on behalf of the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association and 2 New York residents. Calling on the court to reject the appeal, the state said its law promotes public safety and crime reduction and neither bans people from carrying guns nor allows everyone to do so. Federal courts have largely upheld the permit limits. Last month, an 11-judge panel of the Federal Appeals Court in San Francisco rejected a challenge to Hawaii's permit regulations in an opinion written by conservative Judge J. Bybee. Our review of more than 700 years of English and American legal history reveals a strong theme. Government has the power to regulate arms in the public square, Bybee wrote in a 7-4 decision for the Ninth Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. The issue of carrying a gun for self-defense has been seen for several years as the next major step for gun rights at the Supreme Court, following decisions in 2008 and 2010 that established a nationwide right to keep a gun in the home for self-defense. In June, Justice Clarence Thomas, joined by Justice Brett Kavanaugh, complained that rather than take on the constitutional issue, the court simply looks the other way, which they have been. But Barrett has a more expansive view of gun rights than Ginsburg. She wrote a dissent in 2019 when she was a judge on the Federal Appeals Court in Chicago that argued that a conviction for a nonviolent felony, in this case mail fraud, shouldn't automatically disqualify someone from owning a gun. She said that her colleagues in the majority were treating the Second Amendment as a second-class right, subject to an entirely different body of rules than the other Bill of Rights guarantees. And I think she was absolutely correct. So what this case really boils down to is may issue versus shall issue. In may issue states, the government, even if you meet all the requirements, can just take your money, process your application, and rubber stamp. Nope, we're not going to give it to you because, you know what, go off and be attacked, peon, we don't care. In shall issue states, like the wonderful Buckeye state of Ohio, if you meet the criteria, you get the permit, period. They shall issue it to you. And that's what this comes down to. I look forward to seeing what they're going to rule on this. I'm optimistic. Given the makeup of the court, I think it's pretty good bet that we're going to get a shall issue verdict in this. Now, I could be wrong. The Supreme Court has disappointed me in the past on many occasions. But the very fact that they've decided to take this case gives me cause for a little bit of hope. But we'll see. We'll be covering this case in the fall whenever they do arguments on it, and then obviously whenever they issue a ruling. So, check back and we'll see how this goes. If you guys like what you saw, please like, share, subscribe. Consider becoming a patron on my Patreon account. Every little bit helps me bring content like this to you. And as always, come on back. Maybe we'll learn something together. Thanks for watching.